Hi, I'm Nika, and I wanted to tell a bit about why I decided to move to the village after living for 2 years in a city. So, of course, it required some changes and adjustments, but eventually I'm really happy with the way it all came out, and I'm really satisfied with the result and with the life that I now have. So, first of all, I'm really happy for my dogs because they're much happier in the village than they were in the city and than they could ever be in the city, because in the village we have all this space, all this nature, and we actually have a pretty big territory in like my house, and I'm really happy with this because I felt like my dogs were lacking something in the village. And actually one of my dogs, Balto, so I took him from the shelter, and he used to be really scared of cars and like loud noise or companies of people. And so even after living for 9 months in the city, this problem still hasn't disappeared completely. So moving to the city was actually a great decision for him too. So actually I'm really grateful that I have this experience of living in a flat with my dogs, and like having to be in the city with many other dogs, many other people around. And I think it was really great training for both of my dogs, because initially I bought Molly when I was actually like 13 years old, and I lived in a village with my parents. And so since we lived in a village, I didn't really have any reason to like train Molly to be comfortable with like 30 people around her in a small space. And so that's why I remember when we initially moved to the city, it was really difficult because there's so many dogs around, there's so many people, so many smells, and she wanted all of it. It was, so a big push for me to start training my dogs. So to such a point that now it's like comfortably fine for us to walk without leashes in a city with a lot of people around, with a lot of dogs, and neither of my dog reacts to them. So of course in the village there are disadvantages too. For example, for me huge disadvantage was not even homeless dogs, but just unleashed dogs that just walk without the owner. Like, owner just lets them go outside of their house and just walk around the village completely uncontrolled, completely unmanageable. And we had a lot of such dogs coming at us when I rode the bike with my dog. So she was like basically pulling the bike, and we used to ride really fast, and it was a constant problem because some dogs were just running towards us, barking fully, like really aggressive. And I understand that that's like their instinct, but I feel really upset because people just don't care. Like, okay, my dog is gonna attack somebody, like, I don't know. And it really makes me sad because it's really dangerous for the dog too. And a few times I actually had to defend myself, and my dog actually beat one of such dogs that were coming at us, and I actually didn't even have any time to react. And again, that's the reason why I'm so grateful that we had this experience of life in the city, and I was forced to teach my dog not to react to others. So another thing that I really enjoy about the life in the village is the territory that we have. And actually when I was choosing the house, I was choosing the one with the biggest territory because I really want to help homeless animals. So actually I've been dreaming about it since I was a child, and even when I was 14 and still living with my parents. So against their will, I was bringing home homeless animals, especially dogs. Oh, but actually there were 5 kittens too. I fully, completely took care of them, and then I found new owners for these animals. And I really want to continue, but ever since I left my parents' house and moved to the apartment, it was not mine, and I couldn't just bring animals home like that, and I really miss it. And I'm really happy that now I have this opportunity again. So that's actually a huge reason why I was so sure that yes, I need a house, yes, I need this huge territory, because it could contain many animals. And also the last thing I'm mentioning, but of course it's not the least, is how village makes my dogs happier, just like literally 100 times happier than they could ever be in the city. Because in the city, even if they are unleashed, they are still like have to be fully in my control all the time. Because there's like literally, you know, in the city where I lived, actually it was not even the city but like small town, for some reason there were no parks, literally no green spaces, and it was really frustrating. So of course one of the main reasons we moved to the village is this, like just having the ability to take my dogs unleashed into the field, into the forest, to the river, and just, you know, walk and run around and don't worry about other people, because you're just literally alone in the field. Oh, and of course the most important reason I forgot to mention is just my personal preference, because I grew up in a village and I just grew up with the sense, I don't know, of some freedom, and I really like nature, and it really feels so empowering for me to just, you know, wake up and have this opportunity to go to some field or to down to the river or to some lake and just sit there in silence and enjoy myself and my dogs. And I think that's what I really missed when I lived just literally a year in the city, and I used to go real crazy like first few months because I didn't have this opportunity there. And so, you know, I really appreciate it here. And I would say the countryside really inspires me a lot, just observing all these animals in nature, all these beautiful gorgeous trees and just plants. And I'm really such a person that I enjoy all of this, just literally like sitting on the grass. It's a huge pleasure to me, and yeah, that's why I think it's better to me, even if there are a lot of advantages to living in the city and a lot of disadvantages to living in the countryside. I would still prefer the last one. Of course, this transition into the village led to some adjustments and changes as well, but actually I'm really satisfied with everything, because now my dogs get more kind of street walking time, and actually all day long I don't let them into the house, except for the night they are outside. And I think that's really great for like both of the sides, for us like as people and for them as dogs, because they get more fun and I get less hair in my house. So I'm really happy about this. And actually we still haven't moved to the main house that I bought. So actually right now we are living in the kind of temporary house because there are some renovations, and that's the reason we cannot yet move in. So if you would like to see more on how we are moving, how we are getting used to the new house, new place, how I'm getting new pets and all the stuff, so welcome to my channel, subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!